So if any of you guys are like me, you probably stumbled upon this website called Vivid Racing, and you're wondering if it's safe, to order your parts there. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking that, why are you ordering parts from a place that you're not exactly sure is legit or not when there's a lot of vendors out there who, are probably much safer to get your parts with. Now, I'm sure everyone has their own reasons, but to provide context to my own, I'm looking to wide body my 2001 Toyota MR2 Spider with a Veilside kit from Japan. As far as I'm aware, there are only two vendors who are able to procure this kit that I was able to find, and that is Midship Garage and Vivid Racing. And both of these companies have pretty terrible reputations. So when it comes to Midship Garage, they don't have a lot in terms of reviews online that negatively bash them. But, I'm in the MR2 Spider group on, Facebook, and a lot of people, are often saying their gripes with this company. So they have poor word of mouth review, which I find to be the best indicator of whether or not, a company is good or bad. Now, Vivid Racing, on the other hand, has plenty of reviews online, and they're all, pretty negative. So the issue with Vivid Racing is that it appears that people are complaining that their parts are either coming in extremely late, or their parts aren't coming in at all, or that and that they had to like just eat a loss. Like they're like, hey, where's my part? Where my part? Part never comes. They can't get their money back. It's just like a terrible situation. Also, in the MR2 Spider group, you've kind of seen similar, I think maybe once or twice, not as much with the Garage, but once or twice, if I recall correctly, people have bashed this company called Vivid Racing. So to get around this, I actually tried to go straight to Veilside. I was like, if I have to pay, $1,000 or a couple hundred more dollars to make sure that's done right, how about I try, to contact Veilside directly and get to get through them. And for some reason, it's probably because of the Google Translate Japanese that I sent over their way. I never heard back from them after 3 or so attempts. So I found myself in a position like, okay, I'm either going to use Vivid Racing or I'm going to use Midship Garage. And honestly, the tiebreaker was money. So, what I do with all large purchases, whenever I make a big purchase, I ask the vendor, like, hey, like, can you do anything for me? Can you like take a couple $100 off, or all you can do is ask. And a lot of times, if you're not dealing with a big powerhouse like Amazon or something like that, you might be able to save yourself some money. It's even helped me at Best Buy sometimes, and they'll work with you. Midship Garage offered me a couple $100 off, and Vivid Racing offered so much money off that I began to worry that it was actually not legitimate. Like it was so much more competitive than Midship Garage that I was like, am I getting scammed here? Now, in the traditional sense of the word, Vivid Racing is most definitely not a scam. They are a legitimate business. They have a warehouse, they have people who work there, and they actually have like a YouTube channel. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Fitment Industries. However, I think it's actually, probably a little bit more useful, a little less entertaining, but, they have a presence online, and it's not someone who's sitting back behind some type of computer trying to scam as many people out of money. So in that sense, they are a business that operates, and it's a real deal. You're dealing with real people. I found myself in a position where it's like, well, both these companies have terrible reviews. I'm going to go with the one who saves me the most money. So again, to add to that, one of the reasons why I decided to go to Vivid Racing was that whenever I first started interacting with them, whenever I reached out to them, they were extremely responsive. They were very accommodating. They took their time explaining things. When we needed to talk on the phone, they were very easy, to get on the phone. Dude set a time, and I called him, and he was there. And it was so far against what I saw online that I was like, this just goes to show that sometimes you can't really trust reviews, because these reviews are making it seem like they're impossible to get rid of. I mean, not these reviews are making it seem like Vivid Racing is impossible to get a hold of. Like they have terrible customer service, that they're like just the worst, and like stay away. So on top of the issues of things not arriving or things being late, a lot of the reviews knocked them on their customer service, and that's not what I experienced. So it's like, obviously, this narrative is old, or they turned a new leaf because they're being really responsive to me, and that's how things were, until I gave Vivid Racing the back. Whenever I gave them money, the situation completely, changed. They went from A1 superb, we're on it customer service to, it's extremely hard to get a hold of, and they're so hard to get a hold of that I'm starting to think of super crazy conspiracy theories being like actually, plausible. So part of me thinks I might be being too hard on Vivid Racing because, as of right now, everything is as it should be. They said that, I ordered it a month ago. They said the part should arrive in November. As far as I'm aware, it it could be here in November and everything could be fine. But the fact that they're so difficult to reach, makes me nervous. And it's like, okay, well, why do you want to reach them? So they made a mistake when it came to the spelling of my name on the order confirmation form, as well as the shipping address. So I want to get that corrected because I didn't want any snafus later down the line, whether it be, some weird stuff with insurance or a situation where I'm pretty sure I'm going to have this held at a FedEx facility. When I go pick it up, to make sure that everything is like Gucci and fine and there are just no, you know, uncomfortable situations. Just want to eliminate that, just make sure that my name is my name on this order, right? Um, in the last conversation that I had with Vivid Racing right after I ordered the piece, they're like, they said, that they'll reach back out in 30 days, or I can reach back out in 30 days, and, they'll this individual, will tell me where we're at. So, after that, I was like, all right, great, sounds good. But by the way, can you fix this issue with my name? Didn't hear anything from them. Sent a second email, didn't hear anything from them. And then, I was like, okay, I know that they're really busy. Things on their website and things online, talks about how they're being swamped with the orders, coronavirus, all this weird stuff. Like, I'll just give them some time. So almost 3 days passed, don't hear anything, and I've reached out again. I said, hey, you said to come by at the end of September. It's near the end of September. Where are we at? And can we fix this thing when it comes to like my name on the order confirmation form and with my shipping address? And I don't hear anything from them. So, I try to contact Vivid Racing on the phone, and I don't get anyone. I'm being held on hold, listening to like this weird loop that is funny the first time, but after you're waiting for, 20-30 minutes, it just gets extremely annoying. Left a voicemail, called again, got nothing, and then I actually had a little bit more success, using their online tool. But the thing with that was, got onto the online tool. It was automated definitely for the first couple clicks. And then it's like, okay, we'll transfer you to a person. And it took like 2 or 3 hours before someone came, an actual person came onto the line and, addressed the issue. And that individual told me that, oh yeah, we get it sorted. This, your sales representative will contact you in a day or so. And I was kind of thinking, like, why can't we just get this sorted right now? Why do I have to wait for this particular guy? But I'm like, whatever. Until this guy reaches out to me. Is it going to take a couple days? Is it going to take a week? What's the timeline to when I should be concerned or whatnot? And they say, like, a day or so. A day or so. And I was like, okay, that's kind of, aggressive based on, that's not the type of service I've been receiving where they turn things around in a day or so. But if all the power to them, like, I guess I'm not going to complain. I'm like, okay. And a day goes by, 2 days go by, 3 days go by. I don't really hear anything. I contact them again using the chat. It was a lot quicker this time, to their credit. I got someone on the line rather quickly on the video chat. And they said, to send an email to sales at Vivid Racing, in order to get this sorted. So, I sent an email to sales at Vivid Racing. A couple days go by, and, here's nothing. I don't hear. The things with customer service is that you start to have, like, an erosion of trust. whenever you say something's going to happen and then it doesn't happen, you just automatically trust a person less. What they say isn't actually like gospel. Individual doesn't fulfill their word, you trust them less. And I think that's a problem with Vivid Racing. I mean, they need to really embrace the mantra of undersell and overdeliver, because I understand they're swamped, I understand they're busy, but like if you set like these A1 customer service expectations, like we're gonna get back to you like in 24 hours or a day or so, and you don't, people get upset. But if you tell people like, hey, it might take a week, it might take 2 weeks, but we're gonna get to you, at least I'd be like, okay, that's a long time, but like whatever, I know what to expect. And I'm things about things like this is when it comes to customer service, and when it comes to when people start erosion that trust, and especially when that erosion of trust and erosion of customer service happens right after you give them money, it starts to make you think that you're being scammed, and it will take your mind to like all these crazy places, because that's what scammers do. They work really hard into they get your money, and the moment they get your money, they're gone. At first I was like, oh my goodness, all these reviews are so wrong with Vivid Racing. Like, they were being great with me, like they've been very responsive, they've been on top of it, this has been A1 customer service. And whenever that changed the moment they got money, it just made me really nervous, to the point, like, for example, whenever I was making the order, I was like, all right, whenever I was making the order, and then they asked for an email address, and my usual email address would not work for some odd reason. They're like, can we get an alternative? So I gave them the email address associated with my photography side hustle, and that worked. And after reaching out with Vivid Racing, and before I was even able to get in contact with anyone, and this was like before I was able to even use the chatbot assistant, like all my emails in that account, got deleted. Like 99% of those emails, and for my sent emails, the only ones, there were only a few missing, but all the sent emails dealing with Vivid Racing were gone. Right now, of course, Vivid Racing is not doing this weird thing where they hacked my email and deleted all my emails, so there's no proof that actually made this order or something like that. But that is where my mind went, and I think that's the I for a minute I was like thinking that could happen. Obviously that's not gonna happen, but whenever you have poor customer service, your mind just goes to those places. So is Vivid Racing a scam in a conventional sense? No, like they're an actual company. They're working hard to fulfill these orders, hopefully, but they do have a noticeable change in their customer service attitude after the order has been made. So and I don't want to be too hard on Vivid Racing, because everything could be fine. Like, we're still away from November, things still appear to be on time. I just get nervous that they're being extremely unresponsive, and I just, especially because of all these terrible reviews, I just want someone to tell me, the individual who I've been interacting with, say, hey, buddy, everything's fine, we got it covered, and that's and that's all you need. That's all the small things that you need, with customer service. But we'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this build. I'm very excited to be able to tell everyone that things went well, and I hope that this experience I have with Vivid Racing is positive. But based on my experience so far, and maybe this is warranted or maybe it's not, I would be extremely worried about ordering from them if I had a tight timeline. And again, you may think that's unfair because my thing might be coming on time, but the thing is, like, whenever you can't do the smaller things right, the faith is eroded for you to get the big things, do the important things. If you need them to be responsive, if you need to change your order, if the order goes missing, like, how are they gonna help? Like, it's just like I don't have a lot of faith in Vivid Racing at the moment. And maybe by the end of this will all be restored. Some of you guys are gonna say, well, they're saving you more money than anyone else. You should expect that. And I get that to a degree, but I kind of feel like if that's the deal, that's what should be said at the beginning. It's like, hey, we're stopped. We're backed up here. we're really not going to be responsive unless it's an emergency. And but don't worry, your stuff is coming. Like if you just get that confirmation, like okay, your stuff is coming, but I mean that's all I need. But to be straight up ignored, for a while by this individual who I know has capacity to be responsive because they were extremely responsive before the sale was made. So yeah, guys, now that's the wrap with Vivid Racing. Now, if you want to see how this ends up, feel free to like, share, subscribe. Also, we'll be having content about that Veilside build add to the channel. Already have a few videos that already speak to that and about that process so far. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see